Welcome to another lesson in the EPA Partnership Program. Today we dive into centrality, one of my favorite traits. I know. But centrality, you see, to me, it's one of the top 5 traits, because if you have organizational vision, you know where you're going, you know who you are. If you have discipline, you will get there because you will be constant and you will get there. If you have determination, you will stay focused and you will move heaven and earth to get there. And it's your grit. Even if things get tough, you have enough grit to go through them. If you have centrality, you will discover today how amazing it is. And if you have understanding, this is your big 5. This is your big 5. So 2 of the big 5 are coming right up. Today we're doing centrality, and next lesson is understanding. And that's the big 5 for me. Obviously, they're all important. They're all amazing behaviors that interact and contribute to one person's success. But if you have to choose 5 that are needed in business, that are needed in a relationship, that are needed in a team player, these for me are the big 5. But let's dive right in and let's look at this amazing trait, centrality. Now, what does this trait show? Centrality indicates how we manage what happens to us or what we want to happen to us. It's our proactivity, our locus of control. Proactive means not passive, doing something about it, but above all, it means not reactive. Stephen Covey, which I'm sure you know, said that by choosing our reaction in a given circumstance, we can exert a strong influence on the circumstance itself. By choosing our reaction, so by choosing our response. We don't want to be reactive, we want to be responsive. We want to be consciously choosing a response in a proactive way. This trait indicates how much the person that you are taking care of feels that they are the cause or the effect of what happens around them. A high score indicates that the individual does not feel affected by what is happening around them. They feel that they can influence things and take responsibility for them. They are the cause of the solution, or they are the cause of the prevention. They are the cause of their every response to whatever happens from the outside world. A low score below 20 indicates an individual who feels affected by what is happening around them and does not feel able to influence these things. So they're more the effect, not the cause of every event. They believe that it is others or the outside world who cause or determine these effects. And often they are stuck in the loop that there is nothing they can do about it. Oh, but it's not up to me. But he told me he would do it. What can I do? And so on and so on. So let's spend a moment talking about proactivity and reactivity. When we talk about proactivity or centrality or a proactive attitude, we are talking about taking responsibility as the cause of solutions, as the cause of preventing a problem, or as the cause to a response to an event. People with high centrality know that consequences are caused by them, as well as responses, as well as preventative measures. They are the cause of their life and not the effect. Conversely, a low central trait is about losing power and moving responsibility away from oneself. So reactive people believe that what they do and how they feel is the result of an external cause, an external person. This means that if the external cause does not change, the problem or negative situation will not change, and the person will feel stuck, will get demotivated, will feel like they're without being able to do anything about it except complain or worry or slip into anxiety. So we help our clients, our team members, our people to enter this paradigm of centrality. We are the cause, not the effect. Suffering is when we live life as effect. Freedom, evolution, innovation, growth is when we live our life as causes. So when people are living their life as effect, they live in reactive attitude. And people with a reactive attitude depend on circumstances and are influenced by external factors and the behavior of other people. We've already said that. They blame other people or situations for their happiness or unhappiness, completely absolving themselves of responsibility. They end up passively enduring events and people, or they aggressively criticize and become litigious towards those events and people. Admitting that we are responsible for our own happiness implies that we are not happy at present and that we have made mistakes in the past. Taking the full responsibility for the conditions of our lives is often a source of discomfort and fear. This means that we must be very patient with our low centrality clients unless they are narcissists. That's a different topic altogether. If they are not narcissists and they are low on centrality, we must be very gentle in guiding them towards the adoption of this paradigm, because they will be afraid to look at all the things in their lives and recognize, see it clearly, that they have caused them all. They have caused it because maybe they weren't paying attention. Maybe they were running away. Maybe they didn't want to face the music. Maybe they were afraid to speak up. Maybe they were too lazy to take care of it. So eventually, a bunch of things in their lives stop working, and they are the cause of these failed results. It's a lot to take in. This is a very, very delicate trait and must be handled when you deliver it back to your client with extreme kindness and gentleness, because we want to aid them into this paradigm. But if we are not gentle and patient, they might just collapse under that sense of overwhelming burden. On the other hand, we have proactive people who tend to take responsibility to prevent, to change, to resolve. They are aware that their mood, their results, how they feel, and how they act or react to events depends exclusively or almost exclusively on them. These are really great clients to work with because they do not shy away from responsibility. They dive into the solution. They ask questions like, okay, what do we do? How do we fix it? What do I have to do? Who do I have to become? What do I have to learn? So they know that they can always choose a response towards an outcome. A proactive attitude consists of actively acting in the knowledge that we can influence people or direct our own choices to improve what we are experiencing. These are amazing people to work with because they really question themselves, their ways of thinking, their ways of doing, their ways of being. And so it is easier for us to guide them through whatever transformation we are trying to bring forth with them. Here you have some examples that you might want to go through to familiarize yourself with reactive and proactive responses if this is something that you haven't seen just yet. So if you people who make mistakes, for example, in the first circumstance, I made a mistake. Well, it's your fault. You didn't tell me. Well, this wasn't clear. Well, this was not written here like this. It's not my fault. There's nothing I could have done. How could I have known? Okay. So that kind of situation, especially, it's very difficult that a business coaching or a consulting client or a life coaching client has this kind of attitude. Maybe not with us, but they might have it in other areas of their lives, and that's causing all sorts of problems. Whereas for managers and team leaders, it's very common to have employees who have this attitude, well, you didn't tell me. How was I supposed to know? It's not my fault. I didn't know. And so doing a training for your entire group on how to enter this paradigm and train them to help each other stay in this paradigm is something that I would totally invest on. Because once you start living your life as the cause of outputs and outcomes, not only my life changes, but everybody's life around me is impacted positively, and it is contagious. So if you work with relationships between members of a team, or you're a life coach and you are specialized in relationship coaching, you should know that this trait is very useful when you're analyzing interpersonal relationships. If I interact with other people thinking that they are the only ones who are wrong and that I cannot do anything about it, my interpersonal relationships and leadership will certainly suffer, because I will delegate my entire power to the person in front of me who will make or break outcomes. So this trait measures a perception, how the individual feels about the environment. Can I influence it, or am I influenced by it? And as such, their perception may sometimes not be so reliable, especially when this trait is very, very high. I've got to do everything myself because nobody here can take care of problems. Or very, very low. Well, it's not up to me. What can I do? This is, they were supposed to do it. So even if with you, the person shows good balanced centrality, investigate how they bring that into other relationships, because that might be causing problems for them.